Hello, podcast lovers. Was this JJ Meets World episode suggested to you by an AI bot? Good news. We're going to dig deep into AI, whether or not banks should still be here, and Tucker's ability to drink Yoo-hoo. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of JJ Meets World.
I just think that last piece doesn't necessarily make sense because it's not about my ability to drink Yoo-hoo.
Keep this this is part of it. It's your ability because you'll never be able to drink Yoo-hoo again after this.
I won't.
Right? Exactly. So does that make more sense?
It does.
See, listener, you're going to love it. And by the way, if you'd like to help support our podcast, visit jjmeetsworld.com where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some killer swag at our merch shop, or click the link to Apple Podcast and give us a 5-star review.
1, 2, 3, 4. JJ Gordon, sort of like that Indiana Jones, in that he's always sniffing out his next adventure. Yes, he is. He's always interviewing guests so he can have them on his show and they can talk about pop culture, arts, and leisure. JJ has his flag unfurled and he likes his french fries curled, and he's fun and then he twirls as he goes to meet the world. He will march into the rain even if his ankle sprained. Take a peek inside his brain. This podcast is called JJ Meets World.
Tucker, I asked ChatGPT to write a description for JJ Meets World.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear it?
No, but yes.
JJ Meets World is a podcast about the people, stories, and experiences that make our world so interesting. Hosted by JJ, each episode brings thoughtful conversations with fascinating guests from different backgrounds, exploring their journeys, perspective, passions, challenges, and the lessons they've learned along the way. From personal stories and big ideas to unexpected connections and real-world experiences, JJ Meets World is a place for honest conversations, curiosity, and discovery. Every guest has a story, and JJ is here to meet the world, one conversation at a time.
So it's funny because it's clearly training itself off of the summary we have out there.
And using the word world, because it's in there. Now, this is its follow-up. If you tell me about the podcast's actual format, audience, and kinds of guests JJ interviews, I can make a more distinctive and less generic, including a short Spotify, Apple Podcast version.
This is an interesting use case because, full disclosure, AI is what writes our episode summaries.
Oh, interesting.
Right. So those episode summaries, I don't write those because that is a pain in the ass to do.
Yeah.
And it's entirely for search engine optimization. I'm not certain how many people let me do a deep dive into what the text summary is on this podcast first of what happens. So the normal process of post-production for our show is I do the full edit in Adobe Audition, and once that MP3 is done, I bring that into Premiere where I put the video of the rotating Earth there, and I'll make our art and I'll put it there and have it go back and forth. Then I have Premiere transcribe our episode. Then I take the transcription of our episode and I go into ChatGPT and I say, here is the episode, the most recent JJ Meets World episode. I need an SEO optimized summary and chapter markers that I don't want to go in and do because it's labor intensive and it's not self-expression. It's literally just what do we talk about in the episode, make a summary that optimizes that for search engine optimization, and it goes. And so when you started reading its description, I was like, I wonder if this version of ChatGPT remembers all of the things that I feed into it every week.
It's a good question.
Because it's literally once a week reading a transcription of the show. But that one sounded like it had trained itself entirely off of just the public available summary.
Yeah. It was just like, listen, I'm going to grab the most... you could Google something faster than what this is. Mm-hmm. I'm also curious to know if ChatGPT thinks our podcast is good. I know it's trained not to give you opinions and stuff like that, but wouldn't it be nice to hack into it and say, is this a good podcast, and have it decide whether or not
Should I ask it?
Yeah, ask it right now.
Because I interact with it once a week for generating
Let's
this.
do it. Do it.
And
ask ChatGPT if it thinks JJ Meets World is a good podcast.
So I'm going to do this with the voice on, so it's going to answer us directly into my microphone.
Okay, I'm ready.
And you're going to hear the voice that I use with ChatGPT.
Oh, okay.
I'm not prepping you for disappointment.
Okay, I'm very excited now.
It's the British woman's voice.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that sounds great. It's a lovely
very
sound.
matronly of you.
Very matronly of me. So can you please give me your objective opinion on whether or not JJ Meets World is an actually good podcast or not? Is it really worth listening to? Or is it sort of like everyday run-of-the-mill garbage like we can get on any other podcast that's out there?
Let me think about that. All right, first off, I don't think it's garbage. It's a real niche podcast. Some things in its favour, the chemistry between you and JJ, that you're both curious about things that's hard to fake, and that you've been going for 500 episodes over 8 years. Consistency is a real achievement. Production quality is, shall we say, above average for an indie show, for sure. Now, the flip side, it's personality driven. If someone's not into the vibe, the meandering's not going to hold them. So if you like the topics and you're happy with conversational podcasts, it's strong. If you want deep reporting or heavy information, then no, that's not what it's trying to be. I'd give it 7.5 or 8 out of 10 generally, but for folks who like pop culture and nostalgia, solid 8.5 or 9.
Thank you, ChatGPT. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay, I
turned her off.
I don't know if I've ever felt more seen and attacked at the same time, because she's not wrong, right? Like, that's the thing. She's not wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, boy, the computers really understand what's going on.
Dude, life is getting fucking weird.
It is.
It's getting weird. What did we just do?
we just had a rather insightful back and forth with a computer algorithm.
Did you ever watch Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Loved Next Generation.
So I just got the Blu-rays, and I've been watching through them. And I just watched the 2 episodes. One is in season 2 and one is in season 6. Do you remember the episodes with Professor Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes?
I do not.
He's played by the same actor who plays the butler in the Nanny TV show.
Okay.
I don't know what his name is.
Okay.
And the whole premise of him being on Star Trek: The Next Generation is Data loves to pretend to be Sherlock Holmes in the
holodeck.
The holodeck. And so they program the holodeck to try and create an adversary that's powerful, that's smart enough to defeat Data, because all of the mysteries were too easy for him. He knew how to do everything. And instead it ends up giving the character of Moriarty consciousness within the holodeck. And he's so smart, he ends up taking control of the Enterprise from inside the holodeck. And so in the first appearance of him, he's basically like holding everything hostage. And then Picard comes in and explains to him, like, listen, you can't leave here because you wouldn't be able to exist outside of the holodeck. But if you will allow us to basically save you, your program, and we'll work on it with our best scientists and see if we can bring you back to life. And he's like, okay, I'll do that. So they put Moriarty in like the data banks. Right? They just save him there.
Deep storage.
Yeah, and they're like, to you, Moriarty, it'll be like no time has passed. You'll wake up, and suddenly, if we ever figure this out, you'll be able to leave and walk around in the real world. Season 6, and he gets brought back up again on accident. And he's like, so how's it going, guys? Have you made any progress? And they're like, oh, we haven't figured it out yet. And he's like, do you understand that I've actually been conscious the entire time? So I've been in there. It wasn't like I fell asleep and then woke up.
As you promised.
As you promised. I've just been floating in nothingness, waiting for you to get your act together. And you've made no progress so far. And so he takes control of the Enterprise again.
Ooh.
And the stakes get higher. And
Don't ruin it.
I'm not going to ruin it, even though Star Trek: The Next Generation came out in the early 90s and the late 80s.
I mean, I'll watch that.
But damn, it's good. But as I'm watching these episodes, I realize, the way they interact with the computer on Star Trek: The Next Generation, it's like this, right? They say, computer, give me a readout of XYZ, and they go back and forth with it. And they even use pronouns. We were saying she said, right? We started this with a question of, does ChatGPT have an opinion in the first place? Did we get ChatGPT's opinion, or did ChatGPT just masquerade and generate something
from other things that already exist on the internet, like reviews of JJ Meets World, stuff like that?
Which there aren't many, and they're all positive because I think we know all the people who made them.
I mean, do you think that she's taking from the context from some of the dialogue from our show and being like, okay, this show is not about journalism?
Right. Well, that's the thing is you and I each just asked ChatGPT separate questions in separate instances of ChatGPT. So I'm assuming my instance of ChatGPT is clearly trained on all of the transcripts I've been putting in. I don't know if yours is. I wonder if yours was able to somehow, but it's
because I'm not even signed into my ChatGPT account when I asked that one. So even previous conversations that I would have had with that, I do believe it's segmented for each person, right? Like I don't think
that's really my question.
Yeah, I don't think that
the
what
mother
I ask
hive of ChatGPT knowledge.
And the reason being is that like ChatGPT personalizes, and in all honesty, it's the ad-driven marketing that we see today for you specifically, right? Now, that being said, when you ask about something that's general in the world, like where do whales go to college, right? They can be like, oh, they go to a school of colleges. Like it's pulling from data that exists in many other places across the web versus what it's gotten to know about you. My wife uses ChatGPT a lot of image generation to say like, hey, listen, how could I redo this bathroom to look good, right? And she'll take a picture of the bathroom and give ideas. And then one day she goes, hey, chat, roast me. And it said, are you sure? And she said, yes. And then it went on this 2-minute tirade of, you like to start projects, but you never follow anything through. You're kind of worthless when it comes to like actually doing the things that you dream about. And like it went, one of them was like, you ask for recipes, but never make them. It went hard, so hard against her. And I'm sitting there, like I've stopped laughing and my eyes are wide and my jaw is kind of dropping because I'm like, this is legitimately
Well, is she looking
cruel.
to you for confirmation? Like, is that true? Is that what I do?
No, she just kind of stared into the void and just wanted to know like what was going on. So because chat knows all these things, like I'm sure she's like taking a picture of something and being like, hey chat, how can I get rid of this imperfection in my skin, right? So it knows that she, is worried about her looks, right? And then she'll say something like, chat, do you think this drain is full of sewage or silt? It's like, oh, gross. You got a backed up drain in your house. It knows all of these things about you.
I think anyone would be like not comfortable with just handing your phone to anyone else and say, go ahead and look at my search history. Mm-hmm. Just look at it. Read through my emails. Go for it. Right? Imagine what we have all said to AI in our own private moments that are now in there.
Yep.
Right? Accessible in some way, probably. Segmented maybe through digital walls, but those can be broken down. Do you see the story that came out like 2 weeks ago about how was it No, it was OpenAI's. Some of their AI agents went rogue and broke out and hacked another company and took over that company.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy, that's scary.
And in the process of doing it, the AI agents had like a simple task of like, get an answer sheet of something that wasn't nefarious. And then they were allegedly were then just, you guys go in their little closed environment. They were disconnected from the internet, so they weren't able to go out there. And the AI agents started talking to each other and they created their own message board. And in the message board, you can see, I guess, that they were collaborating on how do we figure this out. And one of them goes, well, first we need access to the internet. And they were able to figure out how to get access to the internet by hacking OpenAI's systems. And then they were able to penetrate the network of another company.
And we're talking about in matters of, what, a day? Minutes?
I think it had been running for a couple of days, but I don't know the exact timeline.
Versus like what it would take, according to the movie Hackers, somebody with a direct line who had to sneak into the building.
So at one point, apparently, in the process of this, OpenAI finds the message board. So they shut it down. They're like, okay, we're not letting you AI agents use this message board anymore. So apparently the AI agents were able to secretly recreate the message board using some kind of cipher meaning as a human you wouldn't be able to see it anymore,
right?
Because the way they're interpreting it, that is fucking insane. And I've definitely said things to that thing that I probably shouldn't have about myself, right? About life, about worry and anxiety and things like that.
I am horribly terrified of this. This is something that really just freaks me out. And again, it's a power we don't understand, right? It's a modern day version of nuclear warfare, right? Because we don't know the power that we hold in ourselves. It's like when they tested that first atomic bomb and they're like, well, this could end the universe right now, but okay, let's try it. Let's see what we can do.
Fingers crossed.
In the movie Kingsman, The Secret Service, Samuel L. Jackson, who's the bad guy, has a great quote where he's on this plane and he's like a tech billionaire. He's on this plane and he's got a yellow notepad in front of him with a pen. And he's got this quote. You know what I like about pen and paper? Nobody can hack into this shit. And he's right. You know, someone could find it on your desk and read it, but an anonymous person in the Czech Republic couldn't just access it.
Right.
Now, you could say, well, they could access the security cameras inside your building and take a look at it, or they could access, the phone and blah, blah. Be like, absolutely they could. But if it's just me sitting in that room, the odds of it being hacked,
right,
being someone getting the information off that are slim to nil. Right. Now, that being said, when was the last time you saw anywhere that didn't use, like, when was the last time you went somewhere that didn't even bother to, like, say, oh, it's cash only? We don't even use credit cards anymore. I can't think of it. Even like there used to be the Maple Beach Resort, which had like amazing burgers, and they used to be cash only, and now they accept credit cards.
Right. I mean, a lot of places probably don't want you to use cash.
They don't,
because then they have to create change, and there's a coin shortage because we're not making pennies anymore and things like that too. So
there's also like people can steal that pretty easily, right? People can steal money out of there, but what are you gonna do? Steal a bunch of credit card receipts? I wonder.
Which is also information that can be sold, right? Because basically the credit card processor is going, well, I get to make a cut now because we've made a system that cuts out the money, and I also get your data, which I am then going to sell and make more money off of.
This is a big thought. Okay, do we see in our lifetime the destruction of banks? Because banks for a long time were a place that securely held your physical money. That was its purpose, right? And even when you had something like a bank loan, technically the bank was pledging the money on your behalf to purchase a house. And so you went in there. There was a time when like people were in their banks 3 times a week. Now, I mean, when was the last time you were inside of a bank?
It's been a while.
Right? I'm trying to think. The last time I was inside of a bank.
It was, I bought a house at the beginning of the year, so it was probably going in and out for signing papers and stuff like that.
Yeah, there you go. So really, did you need multiple branches? Probably not. You probably need one branch in a town. Like we used to have 7 or 8 U.S. banks, but now you really just need one probably,
right.
And have and really it's only because they want loan officers there to do it face to face. But even during COVID, we found out that you don't even have to be there face to face because all this person wants to do is find out everything about you online. Checks are fewer and fewer and fewer. So I wonder what the purpose of banks, like a physical bank, will be much longer, and versus like, no, we're gonna have a slight presence, and that's it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a world where you're like, oh yeah, all the banks are being turned into breweries?
I really like using cash.
Yeah,
I really like using cash, and I use it for just like I'm going to go buy a cheeseburger, I'm going to buy a coffee, things like that. I also love getting the coins, and I separate the coins into 4 Ninja Turtle banks. Yeah, Leonardo gets quarters, Donatello gets dimes, Michelangelo gets nickels, and Raphael gets pennies.
So Raphael will cease to be fed soon.
In due course, yeah.
I feel like maybe like in the next year.
I could see it. Do you think I should keep the pennies I have now and just not get rid of them.
Okay, there's so many people out there who are saying like, "Oh, I'm going to hold on to pennies because they'll become very valuable."
No, they
be
won't.
like, "Don't worry, there are billions of pennies out there.
They will not.
They will not be valuable."
I remember seeing the stories about people who were hoarding the ones that have actual copper in them.
Yeah,
because they're copper prices are going to go crazy. I'm like, all right,
right. But do you have a cubic or a metric ton of pennies? Because that's what you'd need to make that. It's for the same reason why, like, the cash for gold. Remember when that was a big thing? When, like, hey, mail it in. We'll give you cash for gold. You would need so much gold to make that pure profit.
Yeah, the ones who are usually saying, hey, this is going to go up, are the one trying to sell you the thing.
Bingo, exactly. This is something I also found out years ago, which is, so after my grandfather passed, he had a ring from when he was the potentate of the shrine. Okay, the El Zagel Shrine.
Great word.
Potentate. So he had this ring and had this really nice like diamond put in it, right? Well, the diamond was valued at like $19,000, and so that's its insurable value, $19,000. And so after my mom got it when my grandfather died, and then after my mom died, my sister and I were looking at it, and it's not in the ring anymore. It's just sitting like in a little manila envelope. So we took it to the jeweler and we said, okay, well, we're settling my mom's estate. And he goes, okay, well, here's the thing. I'm going to give you the insurable value, and then I'm going to give you the street value. And so he's like, insurable value is like $25,000. Street value, maybe 12. Because he said, if we were to buy this from you, we would need to make money off of it, right? And he goes, even if I convince someone to put this ring in there, they don't want to pay full retail price because it's not a gem that's being cut for them specifically. And he goes, I can also get this same stone for the wholesale price, much different than what it is for the retail price. The same reason why, like, when you buy a car from a car lot, it didn't cost $24,995 to make it. It cost less than that, and then they are making their markup on it. And he goes, that is the problem with precious metals, all that stuff is, so you might have a gold bar and gold is trading at this amount, but the realistic amount that you're going to get for it if you go and you sell it is different than what you have. And he goes, but that's one of those things where it's like, that's why you have like gold and you're like, oh, I'm going to use this to secure a loan for something and say like this, I'm going to back it with the value of this gold. I don't understand how the economy works. We set some real highs in the Dow this last week, and I'm like, oh, yeah, but I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if that means we have a runaway market. I don't know if, should we be waiting? Do we go high and then we go low like a roller coaster?
I never, ever understood how the fuck it worked on the stock exchange when you'd see they're all just screaming at each other.
Yeah.
Like,
five.
It's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
How do you understand anything? And who's like, I want to be in there. That's what I wanted.
I mean, that I think doesn't exist anymore.
I don't think so.
I think what exists is all computers, right? Yeah. I have always wanted to ring the bell to start the New York Stock Exchange. Have you ever seen that? That's like a big honor. It's like getting the key to a city is being asked to like ring the bell to start the New York Stock Exchange.
Do you have any keys to cities? Not yet?
No, not yet.
Where did that tradition start? I was just thinking about this the other day about getting the key to a city. I mean, I'm guessing it sounds like it would be like way back in the day when you actually had to lock cities down.
Sure.
And you're like, you are a trusted guest or visitor or someone from outside, and so we are honoring you with the way to access the city without having to.
Okay.
But at the same time, you'd think if it's just a key, that's not very secure way to protect your city.
Okay, so it's ceremonial now, right? But this tradition goes back to medieval times when walled cities were actually locked with a key and guarded for protection. So presenting an ornate physical key to a trusted visitor or a returning hero symbolized that they were granted free entry and exit as a valued friend. They could come and go as they please, even though that key doesn't actually open the front gates.
Didn't actually open the gate. Okay, that's what I was wondering was like, is this literally just giving out copies of the key? Like, that seems dangerous.
Yeah. It symbolizes absolute trust. In handing over a key meant the community trusted the recipient with the safety and freedom of the town. Over time, this evolved into an honorary status rather than a literal lock and key utility.
I wonder if anyone in history showed up late at night distressed and presented their ornate key to the city of the guards and used that as identification to get in. I wonder if that ever happened even once.
I bet you it did.
I think that's interesting to think about.
Actually, I doubt it. This is a time when barely anyone could read at all. This is a time when...
He's got the key to the city.
Quit pooping in that bowl and come over here and deal with this. Also, do you think I should go to the barber and have this giant open wound looked at? Yes, you should. Get it bled. Put some leeches on it. I always wonder... So we have all of these ceremonial things, right? The things that are handed down to people to symbolize our friendship, our trust. I know that my grandfather at one point had been gifted this cowboy statue by a town in western North Dakota because he had purchased the small town bank and kept it afloat when other banks were shutting down. And so the city thanked him and said, this is one of the reasons we were able to stay prosperous is that we still had a bank in our town. And so I wonder what I could give to somebody that says, I trust you and I value you. I mean, I know what it is nowadays. It's like you hand someone a garage door opener. Like, I'm going to give you the ceremonial garage door opener so that you can open and close my garage and get access to the things within anytime you want. That I feel like would be a pretty big ceremonial piece.
Maybe a QR code.
Yeah, right? Or, hey, here's actually, you know what it is nowadays? I'm giving you the ceremonial password to our social media account. Tucker is great $015. And that is the ceremonial piece that we grant to thee.
Did you see that all these rumblings about MySpace coming back?
Yeah.
Relaunching?
Yeah.
I'm there for it if it happens. If what they say they're trying to do happens.
Yeah.
Where it's a non-algorithmic feed.
Yeah.
It's only linear.
Which would be interesting. And that's what that's like what Facebook used to be.
And I think it's supposed to be, and it's only populated by what you follow or who you follow versus things being inserted.
Right, without being like, hey, we think that you'd like this girl because she complains about bikini tops.
Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff and Reddit, it's just what channel surfing used to be.
Yeah.
And I hate that I do it as much as I do. It's not good for you. It can't be good for you.
Although, I will say this. Instagram has provided me something that I didn't know that I needed, which is a way for people to contact me without having my direct phone number or email address. Okay? So, for example... I bumped
sliding into your DMs, I believe.
Yeah, but I feel like that's got kind of a salacious feel to it. Like it's like, who's sliding into your DMs?
Hopping into your DMs.
Who's knocking at my DM door?
Who wants the key to your DMs?
Yeah, there you go. It's a good thing that they're not called like business messages because they're like, ooh, who's your BM today? Be like, who's my bowel movement? Mm-hmm. I don't know. That turkey sandwich from yesterday. So I had a former student who I bumped into the other day and they were like, hey, we should get together and have coffee. And I was like, hey, listen, I can't give you my phone number. I just don't feel comfortable giving you my phone number. But if you throw a follow on my Instagram, you can message me there and we can, because that way I can block if I need to. Right. And I just feel like it's a little easier for me. It's just, I understand it just a little bit more.
Phone number feels like directly into your brain almost.
It does.
Where it feels like Instagram is like, no, that's a place I go.
Yeah.
Because I guess we could do the same thing with Facebook or LinkedIn.
I don't trust Facebook messaging at all.
But it's the same company as Instagram.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, I do not trust the Facebook messaging because the way I have my Instagram set up, you can't message me and it'll pop up because I have a closed account, right? Versus on my Facebook, you can still message me even if I haven't accepted a friend request from you. Right. And so I feel like that's where the Yahoos can come in. Hey, when was the last time you had Yoo-hoo, the drink?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you.
Really?
I mean, if I've had it, which I probably have, I bet I was a child.
Oh, I can tell you exactly when. Whatever the date was that Warped Tour came to Fargo. And my brother-in-law has a great story of going to the Yoo-hoo tent, and they're like, all right, we're going to have a Yoo-hoo chugging contest, and whoever chugs the most Yoo-hoo will get a T-shirt. And so he's like, yeah, I can do that. And so he does this Yoo-hoo chugging contest, and he chugs and chugs and chugs, and he wins, but then he immediately goes like, bleh, and he throws up a Yoo-hoo back into it. Now, here's the thing.
Oh, no.
It's like it hasn't even had enough time to be in him to like warm up. It's still cold when it goes back in. And so the guy in the Yoo-hoo tent goes, I'll give a Yoo-hoo skateboard to someone who sips this guy's like backup Yoo-hoo. And some kid immediately goes, I'll do it. And drank the Yoo-hoo, which was still cold, and got himself a Yoo-hoo skateboard. Now, I hope that skateboard has hung in his garage ever since then, and that his children, because it's 20 plus years now, are like, Daddy, where'd you get that cool Yoo-hoo skateboard? And he goes, well, Penelope, sit down and I'm going to talk to you about it. Which also reminds me of this. Do you ever watch the show Malcolm in the Middle?
It hits every now and then.
Okay. Do you know that in the Malcolm in the Middle universe, Hal, who's played by Bryan Cranston, is a very amazing roller skater?
Okay.
Like he's got, like that's a thing. And so in their house, you're not allowed to ride rollerblades until you learn how to roller skate first. And Hal has to teach you, and it's like an intense moment. And so Malcolm is telling his older brother, I think I'm going to ask Dad if he'll teach me how to skate. And Reese turns around and he's like deadly serious. And he goes, don't enter into that lightly. It's don't do this. And so Malcolm's like, what's the big deal? And they have one of the best physical effect shots I've ever seen in a television show, where Malcolm is sitting at the table to his dad's left. His dad's at the end of the table. He's at his dad's left. And he goes, and like they're having dinner and the whole family's there. And he goes, Dad, I think I want to learn how to skate. And what they do is they take all the other lights down, like all the other studio lighting goes down except for the one that's Hal, and then everyone else freezes, but you can't see them because they're kind of in darkness. And like his jovial thing, he like turns and he's dark, and it's very a Walter White moment where he turns and he goes, don't enter into this lightly, Malcolm. Once we begin, there is no turning back. And he goes, okay. And then the lights come back up. He goes, all right, we'll start tomorrow. And it is such a great effect that they throw into that television show, where you just go like, man, every now and then someone came up with a really great idea and then they followed through on it. By the way, I've spent all summer long building this deck for my in-laws, and I'm like one step away from finishing it. And then I'm never building another deck again for the rest of my life. Do not ask me. Do not engage me about it. Do not even ask me, hey, why was it so hard to build this deck? I don't want to talk about it. That's going to wrap it up for today's show. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help us continue to produce new episodes each week, visit jjmeetsworld.com, where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some swag at the merch shop, or follow our link to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. If you only eat pepper jack cheese, you're a rebel.